Well, the Dow's on track for 7 straight days of gains. Here to break it all down with our Wi-Fi interactive touchscreen, Yahoo Finance's Jared Blikre. That kind of snuck up on us, I feel like.
Yeah, it only took 6.5 days to get here. We're looking at the Dow here. It's up 75 points. It was up a little bit more. Let's take a look at the S&P 500, specifically an intraday chart. And this is going to show us we opened up by 2910. And this is a key resistance level that we're going to take a look at another chart. But it's been down from here, still above the prior day's close, which is this dotted line right here. If we look at a 3-month chart with hourly data, it gives us a bit of granularity. We can see that this 2910 level has been an area of interest for some time, going back to late March, early April. So not surprised to see a little bit of a back off there. Now, if we look at some of the components within the sectors here, and so some of the leading sectors, the communication services is actually number one here. And we just got a report by Bank of America Merrill Lynch, their private equity fund flows trend. And what that's showing is that they track their institutional, their retail clients, as well as hedge funds, and see where they're actually putting their money. They're showing that last week when we got that big dip right here, that headline risk on antitrust news that was affecting Facebook and Alphabet, which comprises 42% of this communication sector. Hedge funds were huge buyers, while retail and other institutional investors were big sellers. So something interesting there. Also seeing energy up here, and that's on crude oil getting a lift. And way at the bottom, we see mainly defensive sectors, although we do see technology mixed in. This is real estate and utilities towards the bottom. Also industrial. This is in a cyclical sector that's globally oriented. So it is a bit interesting to see that off the most.
Yeah, interesting. So it's not a clear-cut sort of cyclical defensive rotation situation. Yep. What are some of the other leaders and laggards that you're watching?
Well, if we look at the NASDAQ 100 leaders, it's pretty interesting because we see a bunch of Chinese names at the top. And this is going to be Baidu, Ctrip, JD.com. Now, this goes back 3 months. Let me show you a 5-day price action, which is going to make this trend a little bit more clear. Now, over the last few days, the Chinese government has been providing fiscal stimulus to the automotive sector, the technology sector, and also today to infrastructure plays. They're allowing local governments to float their projects with bonds, what they had not done previously. So the Chinese government is really in stimulus mode. This is Ctrip.com, and then also JD. Also, we see Dollar Tree, and then some chip companies, Applied Materials, and we're going to look at a year-to-date on this, and we can see that it's near its 2019 high. This is a company that makes the stuff that make the chip companies use to make their chips. So this is an important bellwether of the entire semiconductor stock universe. And if we look at the laggards here today, we'll see an interesting trend. We see two of the top laggards, Workday and Symantec. Those are both software companies. And then we have AMD. Now this is again a year-to-date, but we can see it just made a 13-year high, I believe, yesterday. So important day yesterday for AMD, just pulling back a little bit today.
Yeah, interesting. Again, there doesn't seem to be a lot of rhyme or reason sector-wise for what's going on today, except for those Chinese stocks. Thank you, Jared.